What's up, guys? Sean here, coming at y'all with a quick little video. Eagles training camp kicked off today. A lot of exciting stuff to talk about. We got a Grenard injury that we need to go over, Makai Lemon and how he looks on day one, a little bit of a Brandon Graham update, Jalen Hurts throwing the ball all over the middle of the field, and so much more. Guys, we're pumped. Training camp is back. I'm so excited to be covering the Eagles again with you guys. Please like, please subscribe, hit the notification bell because we're going to be talking Eagles every single day. If we miss a day, that's because I don't want to repeat myself. I don't want to give you guys lame content. We're always going to be pumping out fresh stuff, news. When there's updates and there's stuff to talk about, we'll be here. With that being said, let's get into the video. First thing I want to talk about here, Dontavian Wicks had a drop early and then the rest of the day was just red hot. From everything I'm seeing, everything that's been reported, he's looking fantastic. A lot of people were saying that he came out and he put on a show right away. Didn't have a lot of mistakes, looked like he was where he needed to be, made some tough catches. It's super pumped on this because we obviously traded assets for him. We gave him an extension into next year. He's coming in hungry. He feels a little disrespected by the Packers, like he didn't get the shot he deserved there. So we're super excited to see him come in and go straight to work. And it's awesome to see the first day of camp, he's already making an impression. Martin Frank reports here, 78 minutes for practice today. Obviously it's day one. You're not going to run the guys into the dirt. The Eagles have a thing about running shorter practices anyway. A lot of film, a lot of study, a lot of inside work, weight room, stuff of that sort. Not too surprising to see it be a shorter practice. A lot of work was done today, and we're going to be going over a lot more of that here. Campbell with his 11 jersey, big time switch, exciting vibes around number 11. I'm a little terrified because I've got a couple number 11s over there, and they never really work out long term, but I'm hoping Campbell breaks the curse on that. Campbell looked great today from all reports that we're seeing, everything that's been posted. Looks like he was flying all over the place. We're expecting a big leap from him going into year two. The Eagles have a lot of depth at linebacker, so I hope Campbell doesn't get conservative and doesn't think the job is just going to fall in his lap, because you've got guys like Small Mundon, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. They're all eyeing for that starting position. Everybody wants to get paid, so I hope Campbell comes out ready. I hope he comes out on fire. He looks explosive. And again, all reports today say that he showed up ready to work. Exciting stuff out of Sean Mannion and his scheme. First play of Eagles training camp was an under center stretch toss out of 12 personnel. Sean Mannion's Philadelphia Eagles. It's just so refreshing to see us do different things. Just play one. Sean Mannion has had months to decide what he wants to start the day with, and that's what he chose to start the day with. Something different, something exciting. Now, we've done this before. It's not a brand new thing. He's just making a point. Everything's going to be different. We're going to do all the things that the Eagles refused to do over the past couple years, and we're going to find out what we're really good at. These things might not stick into the season. Now, everybody runs stretch tosses, but the Eagles have a great 12 personnel. We have a great O-line. We have one of the best running backs in the league. I want to see us come out and use it to our advantage right away. And plays like that are going to set up Jalen Hurts and Smitty on all sorts of play action connections. So it's exciting to see them start that way. That made me happy to see. The Philly special posts what we're getting so far from Eagles training camp: a lot of under center plays, targeted throws over the middle, and plenty of Tank Bigsby. Completely new system. Obviously, the under center stuff we tried to do a little bit last year. It faded as the season went on. So it's exciting to see them really digging back into that, because I think with Jalen's athleticism, Saquon's speed and power and his burst, it just makes so much sense to go under center as much as possible. Jalen is one of the best when it comes to rolling out and throwing the ball. Does he do better from one side to the other? Yes, absolutely. But you're going to put him in situations where he's going to get more comfortable doing different things and rolling in different directions. So you're going to see a different level of Jalen Hurts this year. And again, they're working on things that they're good at, things that they're bad at, and they're going to really blend everything together throughout the season to make sure defenses have to stay honest. The targeting over the middle, I blame a lot of it on the schemes that we were running. It was a lot of quick outs, hitches, go routes. We were just stuck in the mud in certain plays that we were running. Now, last year, everyone wants to talk shit about the play calling, but you have to remember on first and second down, we could not run the ball 90% of the time. So the play calling had a lot to do with where we were on the field and what we were looking at. So I don't want people to think that suddenly everything's going to change this year. You still have to gain 2-3 yards on first, 2-3 yards on second to set up third and manageable, to give Jalen Hurts and this team a chance to get the ball out of his hands cleanly. And and into different looks. But we all know Sean Mannion wants to throw over the middle. We have a lot of guys that can be incredibly successful at it. Jalen just has to stay on top of watching linebackers, making sure they don't get in the way, not giving up easy interceptions and turning the ball over on silly plays. And plenty of using Tank Bigsby here. That's something that we all want to see. Tank was so explosive last year in so many games where we had no offense, we had no burst, we didn't have anything. Tank came out and he played his ass off. I expect that to happen again this year. I expect Saquon and Tank to share the load a lot this year. I think you're going to get 60% Barkley, 40% Bigsby. I think that's how it's going to go this year. And I'm excited to watch that. I think Tank will thrive in the new system as well. And then the short passing, the outlet passing and stuff, Tank was already really good in third down situations. It's just going to elevate that to another level. EJ Smith posts the tweet you've all been waiting for. Jalen Hurts just found Devontae Smith on a dig route over the middle of the field with Quinyon Mitchell in coverage. Obviously, that's going to be a battle we're going to love to watch. They're going to get sick of facing each other, but it's going to be a ton of Quinyon Mitchell versus Devontae Smith. And iron sharpens iron. I expect those guys to battle and both come out of it better men because of it. The dig route over the middle for Devontae is fantastic. I love that. Smitty will destroy that route all year. He's going to break so many ankles, and I just can't wait to see the yak that comes with it, the easy catches for Smitty, him just having, 80, 90, 100 catches this year. It's going to be insane. Smitty's going to have an all-pro season. He's going to be a baller this year. So I've talked a little bit about Cole Payton. I watched him a lot going into the draft and through the process. Carson Wentz kind of unlocked this curiosity about North Dakota State for me. I still watch a little bit of NDSU whenever I get the chance. So I got to see a little bit of him this year, and he only had one real year to show what he had, and he showed it all the way. Not a lot of production early in the career, but a hell of a year last year. Has a pretty big arm, and it's pretty surprising. He came out today, and a lot of people didn't know who he was, because he's a late round quarterback. You don't really expect much from him, and you don't normally get stuff from late round quarterbacks, but I think Cole Payton develops into QB2. Not this year, probably next year, but he's going to be a lot of fun to watch through the preseason. I think he's going to give us a good look at our second unit on offense, and it could do wonders for this team and helping young guys make the team, undrafted guys show what they really got, and really show the development of our second unit in this offense and what it's going to look like this year. All right, it's time for our annual Elliott Short Parks Take This With a Grain of Salt segment. He goes over your training camp stats. I'm sure most of you guys have seen this before. Everybody has different evaluations and stats. Don't look at the grade. Don't pay attention to any of that. I do always like to see the completions, the touchdowns, interceptions, because that does tell you a little bit of a story, but his grades, they mean nothing to me. So take all of that with a grain of salt. Jalen Hurts training camp stats day one. Jalen Hurts had a mostly positive day on the first day of training camp. Most noteworthy is he was under center for the majority of his reps, only going into shotgun a few times on 11 on versus 11. The offense started off slow with Hurts going 1 for 3 in the first team session. One of his incompletions, he wrote completions, but incompletions, was a drop by Goddard. The other incompletion was to Wicks. That's the one we just talked about a minute ago, with the pass a little behind the receiver and then either dropped or broken up, but it probably should have been a completion. Hurts picked it up from there. He had a really nice throw to Darius Cooper deep for about 30-ish yard completion. Cooper dove for the pass, but it didn't seem like he needed to. Had he caught it in stride, it would have been a touchdown. Hurts had two really nice back-to-back throws at the end of practice. First, he hit Wicks over the middle-ish for about a 15-yard gain. What the fuck is middle-ish, dude? Come on, be real here. The pass was perfectly placed over Bond's fingertips and dipped, so only Wicks could get it. He followed that throw with probably the throw of the day, hitting Devontae Smith over the middle in stride. Despite tough coverage from Quinyon, Devontae had room to run after the completion. It wasn't a perfect practice, but it was still an overall positive day for Hurts to start camp. 13, 17, 0 touchdowns, 0 interception. Again, all the reporters see this differently, so you might see different reports on what was good, what was bad, was it in front of him, was it behind him. So again, take it all with a grain of salt. Elliott does this for clicks, and we're giving it to him. So, what helps him helps me as well. I do really like to see everything here together. Started a little slow, picked it up, got better as the day went on. Big completions to 3 different receivers. You love that. It's not just one guy doing everything. Darius Cooper could be a sleeper this year. Super, super excited to see what he does moving forward. I think he comes in and he's going to battle for a spot on this team. All right, so a couple things that we kind of covered but didn't really cover there. Jonathan Grenard was injured. The pec injury looks like it happened when he was working out. We're not worried about that. He'll be fine. They're being overly cautious with him. They're going to let him fully recover. So you're probably not going to see a lot of him. That's great in a way, though, because he's a veteran. He's going to be ready for the start of the season. Now you really get to see Jalix Hunt and Nolan Smith every day go out there and work because they're battling for a job right now. And Jalix Hunt, by all means, right now looks unblockable. Everything that was said today about Jalix Hunt has been how unstoppable he is. He ran past Mulata. Don't block him with a tight end. They tried it with Dallas Goedert. He immediately smoked Goddard. Jalix Hunt looks like a man possessed, and he's my sleeper on the D line. I think he breaks 10 sacks this year. I think he ends up being a full-time starter by the end of the year. Our Super Bowl run, and then a couple times last year, he has just flashed so much potential. He's already so good in coverage for a D lineman, and I expect him to just get better and better. Darius Cooper, a big catch today. A lot of people saying that they think he's wide receiver too. I would love to see Darius Cooper come out and just win this job, to just come out and do everything right, because he has all the tools to be our new version of AJ Brown. You know, it would be unbelievable the journey that he had from undrafted to making all the noise last year, staying on the team, getting little reps, but not too much, and then coming out this year and winning a job. It would be just absolute cinema, absolutely insane to see. A lot of high praise for the O-line. Landon Dickerson looks slim. Tyler Steen getting really high praise from Lane Johnson and other players today. Lane came out and talked a little bit, loves the blocking scheme, really excited, getting help from the guards and the tight ends to where Lane's just not on an island all the time. I think it's going to make Lane even better this year because he's already one of the best when he's on an island. You give him a little bit of help and the right side of the line is going to be completely shut down all the time. And that'll be fantastic for Jalen Hurts. Long developing plays, just giving us more comfortability and more time to do the things downfield that we want to do. Talked a little bit about Tank Bigsby and expectations for him this year. Probably going to get about 40% of the workload when it comes to running the ball. They gave him a heavy dose today. Not surprising. I don't think you're going to see a lot of Saquon into preseason and stuff like that. So we're going to get an extended look at Tank Bigsby. He will be running behind the first, second, third string O-line. So you're going to have to pay attention to that and keep an eye on it. But if you see him making plays with the second string and the third string O-line, then you know Tank came to play. We're going to be really, really pumped to watch him develop this year and see if he could take another jump moving forward. Makai Lemon came out. Route running looks crisp. Been working with Devontae Smith, it really looks like, because their footwork is getting really close to looking the same. He came out and had an amazing day. Doesn't look like the injury's hampering him at all. They put him on punt returns, which is a little scary. He had a hamstring issue. I would probably wait a little bit on the punt return stuff, but that's just me personally, just being worried about things and probably taking too much stock in something that really isn't there. But had a great day. Exciting to see from the first round pick. Pumped to see what he's going to look like this season in this system and where he falls with Darius Cooper playing good, with Wicks playing good, with Hollywood Brown out there. So he's got an uphill battle. Even though he was drafted in the first, he's still got to go out and earn it this year. And apparently in day one, he's doing a pretty good job to that to start. And one of the last things we'll talk about here, not big news, but Brandon Graham came out and said that he wanted a deal by the time training camp started. If he wasn't in here early, then he didn't want to be with the team this year and he was probably just going to retire. Honestly, the way things look, I think BG should just go ahead and retire. I think we should call it a day. Barring a big injury, barring something absolutely crazy, I don't really want to see BG on the field. We have too many young guys that we're developing. We brought in Grenard. There's just too many pieces that he would disrupt coming in. I think last year it was kind of necessary because of injuries, because of the way things went throughout the year. But even still, I would have liked to have seen a lot more Jalix Hunt. I would have liked to have seen a lot more of the depth that we had last year, because Uche and some of those other guys never really did get any proper run on the team outside of a few snaps here and there. I love BG, but it's going to be a no from me right now. I think we need to move on. I think that last year was amazing. He had some good stretches, good snaps. The year before, he really surprised me. Looked like he had a lot more left in the tank, but I think Father Time has finally caught up to BG, and I think that it's time for him to just pick up a clipboard. And if you want to be with the team, our D-line always needs coaching. So I'd love to see him back with us in a coaching capacity or something like that. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it for me today. If there's any more big news, we'll come back and we'll do another video, but more than likely we'll be back tomorrow sometime between noon and 4, and we'll drop another video on everything that's happening for the day. Super, super pumped to be back, guys. I hope y'all are too. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so don't forget to do that. Like the video, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our content moving forward. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.